what a bummer of week. How you doing?
I mean, it is a real struggle right now.
I know.
It's a real struggle. I'm almost like struggling to find the right words to come up with to talk about the current state of the baseball team, because they're in such a weird spot, you know? And I think what annoys me the most is that they didn't choose a path. They chose the path of like least resistance, I guess, in a way, of just, well, this has worked to an extent. And what you see, like the Mets had, here's some truths, right? Like the Mets had more to do this offseason. They made the decision to move on from Alonso and McNeil and Nimmo, and they had to fill out a pitching staff. They had to fill out some of the lineup, and they had more to do. But I think the optics of a team who had a collapse like that, and the optics of they're mad and they're doing something about it, versus seeing Dave Dombrowski and listening to Dave Dombrowski in a 35-minute press conference say that we're content with our ball club, and hearing again and again and again that we feel, I know he can't lie, but like, I know he can lie, I guess, but it's just not what anyone wants to hear. And I could come here and say, it's press conference speak. Like, I don't think they're really content. I think they're going to go and surprise us, but I don't believe that. I think that first off, Bichette wasn't their plan. Bichette fell into their laps.
Fell into that, exactly.
That was not their plan. Yeah. Their plan was to re-sign JT.
This was their plan. This was their plan. The plan was this.
That was it.
This is what they were planning to do.
This was the big offseason, which is and Adolis.
Crazy. I keep going back to the first pod we did in the offseason, and you just sitting there saying, well, they're not going to run it back. They can't. Like, just being like, almost like it was like a fact of life.
Yes.
Like, they can't do it. Like, they just won't do that. And they freaking did it. They did it. They did the exact thing. We're like, we can't do this.
Yeah. We even got an F-bomb.
I said freaking. That was
did not.
Oh,
say
go
freaking.
back and listen. Go back and listen. I said freaking. Go back and listen. Go back and listen. It will not be bleeped. I promise you. I said freaking.
Right,
listen. On my life, I said freaking.
We'll determine it after the podcast.
Yes, I feel super confident. I will be vindicated in this. I could look like the biggest idiot ever.
Second one of the day.
But no, I did. No. I did not get the CK part out on the last pod.
Okay.
Which shows the week I'm having right now.
Nice.
I said pho, which is okay.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. Things are going well. It's really summing up. No, but like and that's what I just can't believe that they're doing it again. Like, we're about to go through another year with the 6'5" slap hitting third baseman. If they just got off bone, like, okay, that's go get Eugenio Suarez. I know he's not the perfect fit.
That was my perfect offseason. Like, that was my move. I was like, go get this guy. Let's hit.
Go get a guy that's going to hit 30+ tanks behind Bryce, strike out a lot, whatever. But at least in the postseason,
fits with a bunch of mid-30s guys, just lean in.
At least maybe in the postseason he could pop one, and Adolis can pop one, and then you might have 2 30+ home run guys batting 4 or 5. Okay, at least that's different. But to just throw our hands up and be like, well, what did you want us to do? We've had to eat this for 2 off seasons as fans. We've had to eat it. And I think what you're starting to realize almost in a way as we talk our way through this whole thing, because you have a million thoughts running through your head, is that the Phillies are content with being good. They're not interested in being great. Like they are fine with bringing these guys back because they know they're pretty good. They know that they'll should win 90+ games. They know that the ballpark's going to be filled on every single night, but they're not interested in taking risks to try to be great. And that's what is so annoying. The Mets are taking risks on the chance of being great. Now, financially, they can do some things.
They have more leeway, so to speak, than the Phillies.
The Phillies can't right now. I mean, I know that I think we should talk about I think they have to change their policy on the short-term AAV opt-out thing. Sure. I think they would, given the right circumstance. I don't think they can do it right now, just where they are luxury tax-wise. Bichette would have cost them $100 million. So it would have been the $42 million and then the tax on top of that, equaling basically around $100 million for one player. Can't do that right now. When JT or when Taiwan's off the books and Castellanos is off the books and this next offseason, when they do, maybe they can get into something like that. But right now they can't. So that's what keeps hitting me, in the face almost, is I am frustrated with the word of the century now that might be his if we don't, we don't moment, which is we're content with where we are. And I would love to say I don't believe him, but I do believe him.
I believe him.
Because that's what their actions have showed really since they lost to the Diamondbacks.
Well, and also let's take it a step further in terms of just believing what he's saying. Like, they have been incredibly tone deaf this entire time. Like, multiple off seasons in a row now, they have thought the fan base would appreciate one thing when we wanted the exact other. Like, their read on the fan base through multiple press conferences, through the moves they've made, through, selling Bichette to the city and not putting any sort of pushback, like, oh, maybe we won't get him. And then when you don't, being like, oh,
pushback.
We'll bring you JT. Good. Here you go. Congrats. Like, I believe it because I don't think they're savvy right now. Like, I don't think they are reading situations correctly. And to your point about, I do think they are content being good. They're content just, competing, and you never know.
I can't take it. I can't take the what they say to the media or what they leak out to media members about. Well, we were close to beating the Dodgers, and
how about people forget we signed Schwartz?
I know.
Seriously,
I know.
Are you really saying that to us? Yeah, we don't forget. You're bringing back the same team. How can we forget? All the guys are back except you lost Ranger. You're worse. That's the thing that drives me crazy. They got worse this offseason. And I get it. I get that the Dodgers got better. Unbelievably, okay. But the gap widens even more. You got worse. They got better.
Well, it's so, well, it's baseball. Anything can happen. And
that's their strategy.
That's their strategy.
You never know.
We just got to keep taking
sweet, dude.
We just got to keep taking bites at the apple. This team has no shot. I mean, they have no shot.
I agree with you. I said 2% chance to win the World Series on the air yesterday, and DeCamera thought I was crazy. I thought it was the craziest thing he'd ever heard. I was like, honestly, it might be high.
And listen, I hope that this gets clipped and we look like the biggest
please. Oh my God,
idiot.
there's nothing I want more in life. Prove me an idiot.
It's just, you got a lot of great years out of guys last year, and it's the same team except a year older. I mean,
and more question marks. Like Zach Wheeler, we have no idea.
Total
we have no idea what that guy's going to come back and be. And he's such an important part of this whole thing. Bryce Harper, like, I'm psyched he's motivating all that. We have no idea what we're going to get from Harper. Like, you go look around the diamond, like, and say question mark, and they're older.
And they're telling you they believe they're a bat short because they were in at 7,200 on Bo
Exactly. That's the thing too. And not just that. I mean, just from a pure media as a PR or as a team thing, like, then Dombrowski comes in and says it was a gut punch that we lost him. Like, but we got JT. Like, it's just,
I know.
It's crazy. It's like, for someone who is very accomplished and has talked to the media a lot, for the last 40 years, whatever the hell, 50 years of talking to the media, like, and who seems so comfortable at it. I am shocked at how many missteps Dave Dombrowski has had this offseason, just this offseason.
My one fear with, well, I've had this fear for a little bit, but I do have a fear of the sport passing Dave Dombrowski.
I think that's where, like, that's my concern right now, is that the sport is past.
It's my biggest concern. I watch
a guy like David Stearns up there and what he's doing. Like, he's running circles around Dombrowski right now.
And we're sitting here with dead weight in Nola, I believe, is now dead weight.
Big
Taiwan.
But at least he's going to pitch for Italy. So
well, and that's I was going to bring it up later. It's such a joke. You have no connection to Italy. You just had a 6 ERA last year. You were hurt all last year. What are you going and pitching for team? For what purpose? You have no chance of winning the World Baseball Classic.
What are you doing? Why? You just want to be part of it? Oh, you want to go to Italy, like the WBC and play? Like,
has he even been to Italy?
No.
Once in his
Who
entire
knows? Who knows?
It's so, but it kind of checks out the entire offseason, which is a bit tone deaf. What are you pitching for Team Italy for?
It's crazy.
What are you pitching? Just hey, how about we're paying you 5 years left on a $172 million contract? You were horrible last year. For what sense of what are you talking about? Yeah. Why are you playing for Team Italy?
Worry about the Phillies.
It's crazy.
What are you doing?
Crazy. It's crazy. But they all seem distracted.
I know. That Bryce can't wait to go play for USA and this, and they got Luzardo. And it's because of money, but whatever. He's the only one who's like, I'm not playing. I gotta get ready for the season. He's the only guy.
I don't want Sanchi pitching, and I love
Sanchez. I hate that Sanchez pitching. Now, to be fair with Sanchi, it feels like Sanchi got forced into it. it did seem like Sanchez didn't want to do it. And they were like, you've got to do it. Like,
yeah.
I don't like it though.
Any pitcher, I don't really want doing it.
Agree. I do not want a single pitcher pitching.
Now they're going to have limitations on how much they can throw and stuff like that. I don't care. But it doesn't matter. No. The Nola thing.
And look, after ridiculous. The Turner thing, like, I don't love that my offensive guys are in it too. I mean, that was Turner was, we all remember that, right? Captain America. Trey was great. And then comes here and stinks to start the year. Like, I'm not saying it's 1-to-1, but I'm saying I'd prefer they didn't play in the WC and they just got ready for the regular season, personally. Yeah,
but on the Dombrowski point, you see what Stearns has done up there. And obviously Stearns is Stearns, right? And Friedman's Friedman.
Yeah, they're some elite guys.
And they're the best of the best. And I think Dombrowski has done a good job here. I think
particularly like we always talk about in terms of building the organization up, in terms of like the front, like what he's done with the front office, in terms of what he's done with drafting and developing the Barbers, the Mattinglys, like that type. I think Dave deserves a lot of credit for kind of setting this organization on a better track than it was on before.
And I think he's turned them into a big boy organization.
Exactly.
But I think that we might be reaching the end of that.
I agree.
Because
I just think his feel for the league is not what it was.
Well, look at every offseason. They've been like, you know what, we're gonna trade Bohm. Yeah, obviously, and then Bohm's gonna probably be here again.
Yeah,
well,
you
can't just do that. The Castellanos, they've telegraphed all offseason. We're probably just gonna cut him. So it's like teams are gonna be like, oh, great, let me go trade something of value, value.
If you look at like the real big hits that he's had, it's big signings. Like he hasn't really. I mean, it's that the Alvarado trade was a nice trade. The Luzardo trade was his best move. But like outside of that, Duran trade looks nice. But
he's been able to spend
one good deadline this past deadline. But like for the most part, on the sum of moves, he's had way more misses than hits.
Well, and I think the thing that has me concerned about the league passing him by the most is really the trade stuff, because I think I refuse to believe that Dombrowski thinks that he should keep doing this, and I think he also doesn't know what current trade values are like, because they haven't made, again, the Luzardo trade was creative, but they haven't made one creative trade. Like, what have they done since they signed Trey?
Have you noticed the deadline thing too, where each of the deadlines, each of them, he's traded with the same team? He's made multiple trades with the Twins. He's made multiple trades with the Angels. It almost seems like he gets locked in. Yes, he almost gets locked in. The Pirates, they almost had the 2 trades. Like it feels like he's like locked in on GM. He's like, all right, I'm just going to talk to you and we're going to do this. Or you, like, it doesn't feel like that wide net is being cast and there's all these offers and all these things. It feels like, all right, he gets locked in on something. He's like, well, let's make a deal. You know what I mean?
Well, and that
is weird, right? Making multiple deadlines to make 2 separate trades with the same team. Like, that's weird. That doesn't happen very often.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to, because White Sox, Tigers, Lorenzen, and
Twins twice.
I know. I'm sure like the other ones that there's.
He made it. The Marlins was only once. The Tigers won. With the Vierling trade and all that.
Vierling, and then the next year. Was
and then the next year. You're right, but it is weird, right? Like where it's kind of gets hones in on these things. And the Angels, all right, let's trade with the Angels, and that's it.
Well, but even some of the trades, it's like they're so. And he gets praised around the game by older school baseball games. But older baseball people are like, that's just a good old fashioned baseball trade of Eduardo Tait for Joan Duran essentially, and Mick Abel. It's like, I get it, but some of these other teams are doing super under the rate. I don't know. I look at how the Mets in like 3 years have turned into they have the best farm system in baseball. They're now number 6 after the trade last night.
Wow, really?
Yeah, they signed now. Francisco Renteria is coming, but the Mets got the number 1 guy in the class. Right. And now they're making super aggressive moves while moving on from their old core. And they also
signed Juan Soto last offseason, gave $765 million. Like they'll throw that in too, you know?
Yeah. And they took a shot on Luis Robert. RIP. I guess we won't have a deadline for the 3rd straight year of they should trade and give a shot on Luis Robert.
That's a smart shot for them to take.
Of course. He's going to have like 8th for them.
I mean, even if he's just a great center fielder for them, he's valuable for the team. Yeah.
Well, someone tried to say that. So, it's a really tough time. It's a really tough time where they're still pretty good.
That's the thing, Jack. It almost and that's why I really need to think about this. But I think if you had told me coming into the offseason, this is what the offseason will be, I might have blown it up. Well, if given those 2 options, and I know that I'm not sure that I would do that. I really need to think about it and really take stock of it. But like, I don't think they're winning a World Series with this group this way. So if you're not going to change, like, it's almost like, all right, well, let's freaking build for the future then. You know what I mean? I'm not saying I would have done it, but I think about it.
And on that point, what are you so afraid of with Bohm? You're not paying him. You're not paying him after next year. Why are we still so can't even think? Like,
I know.
It irks me. Now, I would have re-signed Schwarber no matter what, even if you want to do a little bit of a reset.
Sure.
But they didn't do anything.
Yeah.
They're again to the overall message of they're okay being good versus wanting to be great. Re-sign Schwarber and then get alternative plans somewhere else, or even put some of the prospects on the table and go get another real-ish type piece. Like they just went straight down the middle. They went straight down the middle. And then I was thinking about this too on my drive in was, okay, had the Bichette rumors never happened, would I feel this way? Because
I thought about that. Yes, damn well, our guy Buzz asked me that exact question.
Would we feel this way?
And I said yes.
I think I would still feel the same way.
I know I would. Yes, because this is what I didn't want. We talked about it. I said, don't do this.
The exact opposite.
Yeah.
It's the exact opposite. It is. They had two paths and they chose the most boring, right down the middle, no risk. And they live in, I worry about they live in fear of 12 through 18, but they might be heading towards 12 again. I mean, this year might be like 2012.
Oh, yeah, absolutely good. And then you've got all these 30-plus-year-olds making a lot of money. And you're right. Like, they are potentially heading down that path again.
And I feel more confident, though.
I think they're better this year than they were in 12.
100%.
And again, the Wheeler thing is a question mark and all, but I think they're better.
Yeah. And they don't have Ryan Howard coming off a torn Achilles.
Yeah, you could say
so that's a big one. But also, prospect-wise, I think they're in a much healthier spot.
Way healthier.
So they're healthier from that standpoint. And again, I'm fine with Crawford playing and Painter being up here. And
that's the point. At a certain point, it's like, you know what? Maybe it's smarter to just play these young guys. That would be part of the reset if I were doing it that way, you know, where
they win 84 games and the kids play all the time and they're all up here. And
it'd be more fun. I'll tell you that much than winning 90 and losing in the first round of the playoffs or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. So, there's a lot on my mind. There's a lot on all of our minds. And maybe it's starting to kind of, smack us in the face of the reality with where this baseball, like, I don't want to hear anymore about how they have like the best odds to win the division.
I'm so tired of it.
Because I'm also
they're one of the best teams in baseball. Like, I don't want to hear that.
I know.
When
I feel I'm stuck between, am I not appreciating having a good baseball team enough versus, being frustrated that they're probably not going to win the World Series.
DeCamera will say this, I've heard callers say it, and they're dead right in that, like, I do understand that the vast majority of my life, I've had bad Phillies baseball. I know what it's like to go through long periods of time without a chance. And that does suck more. Like, I get it. But I also think you have to look at a team and an era and a moment or whatever with the right perspective, in that this Phillies team has raised the bar for itself. Like, they are I get it. Overall, in the history of my life, yes, they're one of the better Phillies teams, and making the playoffs matters.
Team of all time.
Right. But you know what? At the end of the day, for this group of guys in this moment, they have changed the bar. The bar is now winning the World Series. Like, that's what is expected, and that is what we need from them. So it's like, I get it. And I don't disagree that on the whole, like, we should be appreciative of having a competitive team. But I also think that when you've been competitive for a few years, like, the standard changes, and it has to change. The point is to win at the end of the day. Like, I'm good with making the playoffs over, not making it. But at a certain point, you can only do the same thing over and over and over again without it changing the way you look at it.
Well, and it turns into a hope thing. I mean, I feel like the fan base, and I can't believe I'm here, but like, heading into the year, it's almost to the point of, what's the point?
Oh yeah. Well, we talked about this last year a bit, where it's like this is the concern that they could head in a Sixers-ish type of path. They're there this year. Like, we'll see what happens again if they start 30-8 or something. If they're like the 84 Tigers to start the season or whatever.
The 84 Tigers poll. Wow.
Yeah. They were like 35-3 or something to start the year like that.
Really? Who's on that? Was that Cecil Fielder?
Kirk Gibson, Jack Morris, Alan Trammell, Lou Whitaker. Yeah, that was a great team.
Yeah.
But I want to say 35-3, something like that. Some insane start to the year. But
again, They've done that before.
But
not the Phillies. They haven't gone third.
No, but you know what I mean? Like, I think but that's my point is I think it has to be something like that to get people really excited. I think that people are excited for opening day, and I think people are going to say, wait for the playoffs. Yeah. And even then, I think when the playoffs start, I think there's certainly not going to be that juice until they like win a couple rounds or something. You know?
They win a round. I think people are juiced. I think they're like, all right, here we go.
Sure.